nice. It sounded nice. I don't know what it was either, but certainly
Yeah,
had a nice melody to it.
a lot of the
Ethereal
music,
feeling, right?
a lot of the new music that I'm actually starting to really dig right now. I'm actually starting. I can't believe I just said dig. Um,
Dig, dude. We're
yeah, a
digging
lot
it,
of
dude.
music that really like dig. It's my ish. That's how it's sort of made me feel.
Well,
Like.
you know what it is, Frankie. In today's world, independent music is the way to go. Like music that people may not necessarily know on the mainstream.
Yeah, at
It was
all.
different because in the '90s, really, when we were coming of age,
was
like a lot
all
of music that was in the
mainstream.
mainstream
Was
was really
awesome.
good. Believe
Was
it or not,
really really
I find that
awesome.
funny with underground rappers in the '90s. They're like, "Yeah, I was in the underground in the '90s." I was like, "Well, that just means that you weren't that good."
That just means
because-
you did nothing.
Yeah, because the mainstream rappers were like high quality, potent sort of lyricists. So for you to be an underground rapper in the '90s, what were you doing exactly? Who
Yeah,
was
you-
listening to you? There was no YouTube.
Scratching bat wings and shooting ropes, Daddy.
Shoot ropes, ropes in the
Rope.
ceiling, chandeliers, ropes everywhere.
So it's hard to hold the laughter back on that one, but that for some reason I know we were talking about the music. We're gonna go into consoles, but a lot of the new music I'm listening to now sounds like that. It has like a '70s funk, '80s mix to it, but it's so common, all coming out now, and to me it sounds leagues better than the garbage that's being thrown out there. And not too many people know about a lot of this stuff either. But it's like music, fun, feel good music you can dance to, and and the older I've gotten, the less hateful, angry music. I kind of weaned away from listening to that. And
I
started
love that
listening
stuff
to-
still, but I like the other stuff that you mentioned. I like
Yeah, the
feel
feel
good
good.
music with positive vibes.
Yeah,
they
with
call
like
them.
a good dance beat to it, something that if you heard, you could just start dancing and have a good time to. And
But me, I also can get into some heavy stuff. Not like this new age of metal where it's like
No.
all down tuned 8-string guitars and it's everyone sounds the same. I mean,
Everyone.
sounds
Everyone.
the same. I
Everyone.
feel like Pantera did that already, guys. Try something else, you know.
They did that a long
Fear
time
Factor
ago.
did that already, guys.
Fear
Try
Factor,
something else.
yeah, Fear Factor, Pantera. Who else? Metallica, I think, mastered what metal is at their peak.
Yeah, they were a quintessential metal band.
thought they were,
I
man.
enjoyed them a lot back in the.
Some of their
80s.
albums are still. I still think that some of these like metal bands that try to sound a little bit like the '90s metal, they just don't.
Got to
They
do
just
something
don't
new.
get it.
Do something
Yeah.
new, you know.
It's like why are you trying to sound like '90s metal? At least with some of these the '70s, like some of these underground music songs.
It
that I've
gave
been
it
playing
time
tonight.
to breathe. I mean, we're talking about the difference between '90s music to 2014
Yeah.
to 1970s
Yeah.
to 2000s. It's like
Yeah, exactly.
it's almost like a renaissance of a genre of music
Yeah.
that actually required musical ability to make coming back. So that's I find that a little bit different. For you to downtune and
Yeah, it's
I don't necessarily
ridiculous,
consider
dude.
that talent. It was an artistic thing for people to do when no one did it before, but now that everyone's done it, it's just it hurts
Especially
the ears.
who else? And then you had bands like I'm not a big fan of some of these bands. I mean, some of their earlier stuff probably like System of a Down. I
Oh,
know
dude,
Johnny's a
that's-
big
to me,
fan.
that's- anyone
but
knows
they,
me, that's
they
one of my
really
favorites.
I was really big into their first two albums, big time, and they really they took that
They were in my opinion, they were the last great metal band. System of a
to
Down, in my
hold-
opinion,
yeah.
last great metal
a
band.
lot of people like no, and it's like yeah.
That's a
yeah.
vocal minority, dude. If you YouTube System of a Down 2013 and you can watch the tour that they did in Europe in 2013 and they're still legends.
very popular,
They do
too.
nothing but sell out, and I don't mean that like sell out their credibility. I mean like sell out seats at stadiums. So that's to me, in my opinion, last
Which
great
that
metal band.
phrase makes me want to like soccer kick a person in the stomach when I hear that.
Oh,
sometimes
you sold out,
Dude, you
dude.
totally
Dude, how could you
sold
sell out to
out.
the man? You're kissing up to the man.
It's
dude.
just like he's trying to pay he's trying to pay his bills and feed his family. And if the music doesn't sound bad when it's been quote unquote commercialized, what do you care?
Especially with a band like System of a Down, that music is so weird. How could you accuse them
How
of
could you
doing
not like it?
anything that besides what it is that they
Unoriginal.
want to do? It's
How
so
could-
weird. You can't think of that kind of stuff.
You can't. One thing is I can't say it's unoriginal. It's very original. It's they have their own thing. If someone's saying Slipknot's first album was unoriginal, you're out of your mind.
Yeah, that was a great album. Come on, stop it, fellas.
System of a Down's first album.
I'd say all their albums, but yeah, their first album was
Tool's another band that was
Never fell off.
incredible. Incredible.
another fell off.
I thought that they're. I mean, like I said, I've weaned away from a lot of this
But
music.
that's more so your preference, though. Like,
Yeah.
it's not that their quality diminished. It's just
No,
you got
no.
into
I just got
different
older,
things.
and it's
Yeah, you
just
got into
I've
different
gotten
things.
a lot less angrier. And at the time when when I was younger, I had more of a chip on my shoulder. And I still, from time to time, will still listen to
you'll-
some of that.
And you'll still catch Frankie socking someone in the face at Bronxville train station. If you're close enough, you might still catch it every once in a while.
That's when the anger reaches a whole new level. And I try.
When it reaches a boiling point in
tell
the
you
winter,
this-
no less.
I
In the
tell
winter.
I tell you this right now. I try really hard, but he threw me off the train. I had to lean back, cock back that little Moxburg, fit it right here, set it up, and just knock his brain right off the mantle.
Right here.
It fits right here. Here, listen to it. Fits right there. Doesn't move. It just stays. I don't even know what that means or why. We were gonna do a segment about consoles, but we literally have a couple minutes left, and me and this guy Johnny,
This guy over here, guy over here, he's over there.
guy Johnny, me and he talk about anything, everywhere, whenever it happens, and how you see it.
How you see it, sometimes I don't even remember it in the first place.
Never seen and never heard of it, and if I heard of it, I'd recollect it in the first place. You gotta have a little tremble on your voice, and then so it shows that.
And then
once
nod
it
out
kick-
into, the camera.
I remember one of the first times me and Johnny were doing that. He like taps me on the shoulder. He goes, "Frankie, Frankie." Like I'm not doing it justice because he was nodding out as he was talking to me, repeating himself. You can't get any more spot on than that, man. You can't.
Dude, you grow up in Yonkers, the Bronx, this area. You see a lot of that. You interact with a lot of that. So it's just a part of life.
Very luckily enough for a lot of students on this campus have no idea what that kind of culture and that kind of like growing up around it.
They come from the turn up culture. We gonna turn up, baby.
They come from turn up and like and a lot of like the Brooklyn hipster thing that me and Johnny were just clowning on.
I hate that Brooklyn hipster stuff, man. I
a lot of them grew up to
dislike
that.
it. When we were growing up, Brooklyn was like it was a hip hop
hood.
mecca. It was right there.
It was a tough guy area.
It was right there with the Bronx, same kind of thing. Right there with Yonkers and Queens. Now it's like every single person from Iowa to Idaho that wants to come here and be like, I'm in the real New York City. I'm gonna move to Brooklyn.
We're just gonna go to Brooklyn and just.
I don't want
play
Manhattan's too
the
crowded,
entire
so I'd rather go to the most populated borough in
Yeah.
New York City and move to Brooklyn. So it's like there's no even logic or even rationale behind it. It's just a trend. And
So annoying.
like my like our good friend Joe Perella said in the very first Daily's Gone Wrong album, trend is your friend.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is for all these kids. And one thing I want to stress is a lot of people with that personality and that mentality, to me, it ruins New York. When you go to Manhattan,
It did. It destroyed our culture. New York does not have its own.
The culture in New
anymore.
York was just like, hey, you can be obnoxious, loud, but it's funny though, because it's like you're a New Yorker.
You're a chop breaker. You break chops.
Yeah, you break chops. That's what the kind of person you are.
You
now,
hustle
if
and
you do
break
that,
chops.
yeah, you work hard. You're always moving at a fast pace, but you have fun, and you're not afraid to tell somebody. You know, you're not afraid to tell
Hey,
somebody
beat it,
what
buddy.
to do.
Get
yeah,
outta here.
Yeah, you're not afraid to do stuff like that. Now, if you do that, you're looked at like, oh my God, that's an animal. What an animal!
People
but
are so sensitive. That's why it's part of it is just the sensitivity. It's hyper sensitivity.
It's to a point where it's just like, really, guys, are you really upset about something like that? It's not that serious. You know what I mean? Like,
Is that bad, bro?
Yeah, exactly. What is it? Oh man, I can't even say that line.
When she
You
wakes up
cry
in the
in your
morning, pull
room.
the cream from the pig. When she wakes up in the morning, pull the
cream
from the pig. She
pull
pull
the
the cream, cream, the cream, the cream. She pull the cream from the pig.
She pulled the cream, pulled the cream. She pulled the cream, cream, the cream, the cream. She pulled the cream, she pulled the cream, she pulled the cream, pulled the cream, pulled the cream, pulled the cream. She pulled the cream, pulled the
Oh my
WICR, Iona College Radio.
Neighborhood guys, Frankie two
Right
times,
over here.
Johnny.
I'm over here, I'm over there.
We'll be a
you
little
know.
bit of everything, and you know what? We're gonna do some things right now. Maybe
Do a
walk
couple
off with a
things.
couple things to this side and just be pure derelicts. All my low lives out there, Twitter me. You understand? Twiddle me this, twiddle me that.
We're out of here, fellas. Peace.
At JAZEJUCE
And you
at
can see me.
and at Frankie Waps YO.
No underscores, meatheads.
Enjoy.